This is how we start the show after a win like that. Dubs in the air, final score 119-108. The Wizards get the win. Coach Jimmy Patsos here along with Wes Hall. We'll be joined by the whole crew here in a moment. Coach, look at the performances tonight. Kyle Kuzma leads the show. Bradley Beal does what he does. Daniel Gafford with 18 points. I'm excited about seeing everybody, including KP's return as well. What say you?
You know what? Everyone you said played great. I thought DeLon Wright, from a coaching standpoint, he didn't do anything wrong. He made a lot of nice plays. He made the really critical basket going back door, and he hit a three to start the second half, which was from Bradley Beal. Driving the lane, bounce pass, Wright hits a three, right back in action. They took control in the second half. Beal had a lot of good passes. You shoot 46% from three, Wes, when you're making good passes. And that doesn't mean just making passes. If they're on time, they're making the extra pass, they're making the right reads. I thought Kispert was pretty good.
Yeah.
Really, really good team effort, really important win. And I felt like I don't want to put too much pressure on how much this was important, but you heard Kuzma say
Yeah, he said it.
Kuzma said, might be our biggest game of the year. We came back against the Hawks. We want to make the playoffs. We're chasing the Raptors. And he put it right out there, and they played well. I like when you play well in an important game.
Coach, you can see it on the court, the teamwork, the chemistry working. 30 assists for the Wizards tonight because, like you said, they all understand the importance of this game tonight with Daniel Gafford with 18 points. Glenn Consor actually catching up with Gaff after the game, still in Cap One Arena.
First of all, congratulations. This was a character, gritty, high-energy win for this Washington Wizards team, and the way you're evolving as a player, tell me how you feel right now.
I mean, I feel good. We've been through frustration the first two games coming off of the break. We got the win in Atlanta, and we came out tonight and we just locked in mentally. That was the main thing, coming out and withstanding the full 48 push of the other team, and just staying locked in on defensive end and offensive end. Made a lot of things easy for us.
The last two games, when you beat the Hawks in Atlanta and now you beat Toronto, is a big race, in the middle of the floor there in the Eastern Conference. You just picked up a game on Atlanta. You just picked up a game now on Toronto. What are your thoughts on the energy? It's almost like a newfound energy defensively with this team.
I mean, we've been through the highs and lows. We've been through the injuries. We've been through people being out, so on and so forth. And just staying locked in was the main thing. The storm don't last forever. And that's what we did. We stayed locked in throughout the storm. Now it's sunny days on here and going on.
How great did you feel just having Porzingis back there to help you out?
It was great. It's always good having another big back there protecting the home court. It's a good thing. We keep the energy. He rebounds, he blocks shots, and he spreads the floor. So it's great having a guy like that on the floor with me.
Well, congratulations, Daniel Gafford. Terrific game by you. 18 points. You had a terrific job. You did a terrific job on the boards, and you also changed a whole bunch of shots in there. You're playing with a lot of confidence. Go enjoy this one.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Give it up for Daniel Gafford.
Daniel Gafford, can you sign?
Great job by Glenn Consor. Talking to the landlords. We're joined by Christian Drew. Guys, I recall you mentioning Wu-Tang during the broadcast, so I figured
you're going to be asked. Add Nas. Wes to the list.
And Nas. All I'm saying.
Y'all invited. I saw Jimmy put his hands up like that. Coach, we got you.
I'm a Libra, too. I know about Cream and Raekwon.
Tell him about it.
I want to talk Illmatic. I know what's going on out there, too.
Yo, so
keep talking. The more y'all talk, the more free the tickets going to be.
That's what I'm saying. I like more free. Well, Drew, how about we talk some more hoops? Because if there's a Wu-Tang song that I think is appropriate for tonight, it's Triumph. The Wizards doing what they needed to do on their home court against a team that we're going to see in just 48 hours from now.
Hey, listen, this is going to be a series, a small playoff series this week between these two teams, and it's going to go by quarter for quarter. So I think the main objective going forward and the goal should be take it a quarter at a time and win each quarter, as many quarters as possible. And that happened tonight. The Wizards won the first three quarters, and they tied in that fourth quarter. What happened? This is a result, an 11-point win. So you got to take it a quarter at a time with this team since you're playing them in the next couple of days. Look at the tape, make the adjustments you need to make, but guess what? They have to come to you on your home court, so keep laying it down.
The game within the game is taking care of the basketball. And I think that's going to be the key to this mini-series. Washington had 30 assists tonight. They had 9 turnovers, though, in that first half. They cleaned it up, only had 6 in the second. So that tells me the attention to detail was there. This is a very good Toronto's team. They're very handsy, gets into the passing lanes, deflections, yada, yada, yada. We've talked all about that. But I thought the balance that Washington had tonight, we knew they were going to throw the kitchen sink at Bradley Beal. So maybe the adjustment is maybe Brad will be on the uptick in that second game. But to get Gafford to continue to play well. 1 foul tonight by Gafford, guys.
Yes.
When he doesn't foul, look how productive he is out there on the floor. Good to get KP back. But Kyle Kuzma started this show, guys, scoring the first 10 points of the game. For both teams, it was Kuz 10, Raptors nothing. That's actually how the game got started. So if you can kind of just do that again, you're going to give yourself another opportunity Saturday at 5 p.m., by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, so the theme song for Kyle Kuzma would be from Nas, If I Ruled the World, because that's the way that
stop it. Here you go.
I can do it all night long.
Yes,
you know how we get down, but the reason I'm saying it, as we all know, 4 for 9 from deep, and we know he finally missed one when he wanted a heat check from half court, but the confidence is at a maximum tonight, guys.
Yes, it is. I mean, when you saw, my money was on Porzingis coming back after having a couple days off, a couple games off, but hey, it was Kuzma. And now, what does that mean? If you're Nick Nurse,
you're going to be up all night.
Yeah, you up all night because you was thinking about Brad, this entire like last couple days leading up to this ball game. But who tattooed you? Kyle Kuzma come up. Now all your attention is drawn on him in that first quarter. Then Porzingis starts getting activated. Now you got Gafford dominating you when you're leaving him and not paying attention to him and showing him the respect on the offensive end. So collectively, like I said it the entire year, no matter who this team plays, they have a chance every night, and we've seen that as of late, to come out on top, especially when they have big leads. And look at, Kuzmania, 30 points tonight, started off hot. Bradley Beal, yeah, he could have did more scoring, but listen, this is what Brad wanted in years past. He used to have to do too much against the Raptors. Now he can offset it with Porzingis scoring and Kyle Kuzma having a night like tonight.
And Drew, I thought that Beal made some good plays at critical times. Maybe not scoring, but his left-handed layup was good. They, Wes called the timeout. They cut it down to, I think it was 189. Called the time. Beal's still making critical plays, but he seems to be very happy passing it to the other guys.
You have to be. You can't play into the lap of Nick Nurse. He wants you to take those step-back threes with 2 people running at you and nobody on the boards. So Bradley Beal's played against Nick Nurse and those schemes and has a steady, consistent diet of how to dismantle them, and it's with the easy play, and that's the pass.
Guys, I know there were some big moments here in this game that, had us all literally jumping out of our seats. And one thing that I appreciate, Coach, is that when you're in an arena with over like 400 cameras, sometimes you catch people's reaction to those moments.
Yeah, I saw Drew with his abs showing.
Yeah, I was just saying, nothing better than this.
Hey, that's pretty good for after the cheeseburger. And not only that, I'm going on 50 years old, so give me a little break. I'm going on 50.
First of all, shout out to the
Look at Helly. Look at Helly.
Hey, Miller, the tandem backcourt, point guard, Wright and Goodwin, they seem to frustrate Van Fleet a little.
Fred has been struggling since he came back. He was out due to personal reasons. Jimmy, he can't buy a bucket. And I want to see that as a carryover also is, listen, we can't get him going. You get him going, and all of a sudden you got Anunoby, you got Siakam, you got Barnes, I love what Washington did defensively tonight. He had a lot of corner 3 opportunities that he missed. Clearly he was frustrated. But DeLon Wright, to me, and Jimmy, I've said it really all year long, is a game changer from the defensive end, getting into passing lanes, deflections, steals, but assisting. Look at this. He had double-digit assists tonight, too, not turning the basketball over. So even when Monte Morris is not out there, we want him to get back because when this team is whole, they're really good. DeLon is a very serviceable starting point guard in this league.
Hey, Coach, remember that word when you're talking about serviceable?
Yes, exactly.
Chris and Drew, we appreciate you. I'll let you go with no more music puns for the rest of tonight. I'll wait until Saturday.
September 26th. Wrote it down.
Since y'all showing my abs on TV, I got to hit the gym tomorrow.
You and me both. That is why I stay right here. Guys, we'll see you in 48 hours. Appreciate it.
Can't wait, guys. Thank you.
Coach, one of the things that he mentioned, Fred VanVleet getting activated. Obviously, certain guys have certain nights off. My concern is this. As much as we are enjoying this win that we should, and rightfully so, not getting too high because you're going to see them again, and you know Toronto is going to have a bitter taste in their mouth after a loss like tonight.
Look, I coached in college for a long time, but I played in the CBI. We won it. It was 2 out of 3 against Fresno. Thought everything was going to be fine. Oh, we'll do the same thing. I had news for you. It was Rodney Terry, who's the coach at Texas, and Tyler Johnson was on the team. A couple times in the ACC, you ended the season with a team that you played the next 2 days in the ACC tournament. It's rare that you play a team like this in the same venue.
Yeah.
But they're definitely going to be different coming out there. Toronto. It doesn't mean the Wizards can't win. They can. I don't think they're going to let us go on a 10-0 run. I think they're going to make somebody besides Kuzma and Beal beat them. Here's the question. Who do you stop and who do you guard? I was most impressive offensively with Daniel Gafford. Not just the dunk. He led the break and dropped it off.
That was nice.
My man is playing well and having fun. If Gafford's going to give you 18, and as Chris said, a lot of us do foul trouble, but Nick Nurse, he's won an NBA title. This is the NBA with his playoff games, but it's a quick turn in the same building. I'm very interested to see how the Wizards handle this after Kyle Kuzma said we knew this was an important game, and they rose up to the challenge and handled it, in my opinion, for all 48 minutes.
That's what it was. Matter of fact, wire to wire, because they've led every single quarter. They tied in the fourth at 30-30. So you're absolutely right, doing the job. But you speak of Kyle Kuzma. It leads me to this question tonight, Wizards fans. You heard him earlier in the game sit down with Chris Miller. They rattled off some nicknames, so we want to know which one of the Kyle Kuzma nicknames do you find to be your favorite? You can go to nbcsportswashington.com/vote or use that QR code on your screen, and you got options: Corner Kuz, Kuzmania, Clutch Kuz, and Kuz Control. 4 options. You get to vote. While we do that, we're going to bring in Megan McPeak and get her thoughts on the game as well, because she was there in Capital One Arena. It was a cherry blossom night. Megan, I know you got my rally towel that I asked for, right? Right?
I'm still working on it, guys.
Okay, work in progress.
Okay?
I will accept that.
TBD.
Not a problem at all. Well, how about we talk about things we know for certain? The productivity of this team with KP coming back from the night. How invaluable is his presence, the unicorn, for this team?
You know, what he brings is spacing to this team, and that was something going into the games without him that Coach Wes Hall Jr. said was very important. Remaining space because of what he brings. He's not a prototypical 5 with his size. He's a stretch 5. So his ability in the pick and roll situation to pick and pop, it changes the way that a defense will guard you. So when you have a guy who can screen for you, set you up, but then you don't know if he's going to roll to the basket because KP can do that. But you also don't know if he's going to pick and pop for the 3-point shot. He can also put the ball on the floor. When he gets the ball down low, which they expected to happen tonight was for him to potentially get doubled, he has become much more comfortable and much better at being a facilitator out of that double, especially when it is in that mid to low post area. So what Kristaps Porzingis brings to the team offensively is his spacing. It allows guys like Bradley Beal to get downhill, a DeLon Wright to get downhill, Kyle Kuzma to get downhill, Corey Kispert to slash off the ball as well too. Just what he brings and his ability to space the floor with how potent he can be offensively changes things for this Wizards team. And then as well too, we talked about it in those games he missed when Daniel Gafford got into some foul trouble in a couple of them as well too. His ability to be an extra line of defense for the Wizards, being an extra shot blocker, an extra shot alterer as well too, because we see him go for the cornet contest, as it's become known as, not necessarily just the shot block. So on both ends of the floor, he adds a lot to this team for them.
When I look at the box score tonight, Megan, I see that the Wizards did their job with the bench scoring, even though we only played 4 people off the bench. But more importantly, as Chris said, limiting the turnovers. One of the things you say as a former point guard, you got to possess the ball. You can't allow the other team to just take advantage of that. Limiting turnovers, especially in the second half, has got to be priority number 1 when we see Toronto again on Saturday night.
Without question. They will practice tomorrow, and they will work on what they saw tonight in film. Nick Nurse, I imagine, will be up all night dealing with the film and preparing for what they're going to look at tomorrow in practice. As we talked about coming into this game, Chris spoke about it throughout the game as well, did Drew, this is the best team in the league, if not top 5, in turning teams over, deflections, steals, and as well then points off of turnovers. So the fact that when they do that, they did not have success with regards to getting a win tonight, I imagine they will try and turn things up. We might see them go into that box and 1. We could see them go into a 2-3 zone on Saturday. Whatever they have to do, Nick Nurse has proven. In that championship season in 2019, he proved, Wes, you remember, we were on the road doing arena football games while watching both the Eastern Conference and the NBA Finals series. series. He does not care what people think of him. He will jank up the game if it means they can get a W. So I imagine when it comes to them preparing for Saturday's game, it could be a very different side of things defensively, and the Wizards have to be prepared for it.
Indeed they do, and I do recall those moments. That was fun hanging out in Columbus, Ohio for a couple of those games. But Coach, to her point, the things that are going to happen are going to probably put the Wizards at the free throw line. And the reason I mention this, the Wizards were 3 for 6 from the charity stripe in the first half. Finished the game 19 for 24. 16 more free throws made in the second half. You've got to make the ones that they give you for free.
Yeah, because they were making theirs. I don't think they missed one. They were 17 for 17. But I like what Megan's saying. Nick Nurse is going to try something different.
Yes.
You know, especially at the beginning of the game. Who he's going to go to is Jeff Doughton coming back for the two-way. You know, I saw before, he's a St. John's high school kid that went to Rhode Island. He's kind of a thinner guy, really knew how to play. He's grown up in the G League, and he'll be on that roster full-time next year. But whatever maneuver or whatever chess match he's going to make, I like what Megan's saying. He's not afraid to play a box and one. Maybe he'll pick up full court a little man. You know, maybe they'll get off DeLon Wright and make him shoot.
True.
But he's been a capable shooter. He's been fantastic. I'm really impressed with him all year long. But Kispert, he deserves some credit. Sure. And Drew and I, it was all catch and shoot threes. Now he's shot faking. He took the ball. He laid it in. He had 10 points.
Yes, he did.
You know, that unit of second team of the Wizards, it's been sort of a potpourri of who's picked it up.
Shout out to potpourri.
There you go. Well, it's been a little bit of everybody, but, you know, tonight he did it. Remember, DeLon Wright is usually on there. See, he's taking the ball to the basket now. He had a big three to basically put the game away, and you can see his teammates are rooting for him. And then, you know, they didn't need Kendrick Nunn tonight. Denny's always going to be scrappy, and I think Denny. See another kick out three. You got Kispert really going here. You know, that was the one that was really the dagger.
Best thing about
Denny
it,
gives you defense too.
Yeah.
You know?
No, Denny's going to do it. And matter of fact, tonight Denny had 2 fouls, but he gave you 6 points, had 2 for 3 from the charity stripe, and 9 boards. Remember the other game? He had 13 boards in the game against Atlanta. So Denny doing his job in other places in the box score. Of course, something that we got to continue to monitor as we look at Toronto again, because I'm certain they're going to make adjustments. Now it's time for us to be prepared for that adjustment. This is chess, not checkers. Megan, do not move, because right now I got head coach Wes Hall Jr. at the postgame podium, and I'm interested to hear what he has to say about tonight.